Hi, Jean-Claude. I'm doing good.
What's going on? Every day I talk to you, you're in a different location. What's going on with you?
Now I'm in my son's room.
Okay.
Yeah,
You want to
that's
expound on
good.
that a little bit? You're traveling, obviously.
I'm
You're somewhere.
traveling. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm
Are we?
traveling and visiting the kids.
Okay.
So,
Well,
yeah.
we can leave it at that. That's good. We don't need to give any personal addresses or anything
Yeah,
like that.
no,
But Janine, you mentioned to me that next week here we're going to have some maybe perhaps slight changes to the recording schedule. Now, for the audience members, we record the Monday evening at 8 o'clock. That's
yeah.
the pay-per-view show. The Wednesday also at 8 o'clock pay-per-view show. And now, of course, the Thursdays here at 4 p.m. on Rumble. Now, Janine, what's going on? What can you share as to why perhaps we'll be changing the schedule next week?
Well, it looks like Ashley and I have booked a flights to Dallas, Texas. So we're going to join up with the Truth Tour.
Mm.
And excuse me. Ooh, sorry.
That's okay. Guys, while Janine recovers from the cat in
Ooh.
her throat, please make sure you subscribe here on our new Rumble show. I'm trying to get to the live comment sections to show you guys here what our show looks like today. Thank you so much for watching. And let's give Janine some time to recalibrate here. Okay, she's back. She's a little bit red in the face, but she's back. Janine.
Yeah, cat in
Texas,
the it could be the cat fur in the room.
right? Literally.
Yeah, that could be it. Yeah, we're in a serious cat house, but I like cats, so that's a good thing.
Okay.
Well, Ashley and I are going to join up with the Truth Tour, and so Dallas, Texas, I think will be on Monday,
Mhm.
and Tuesday or no Wednesday. I think we're going to be in Lubbock. And now I'm not sure I'm saying it right. A lot of people tried to tell me how to say it.
Mm.
Lubbock, the word buck at the end.
Okay.
Lubbock, Texas.
Okay.
Anyway, I hope I said it right. But we're really looking forward to that. So that'll actually be, there's a VIP dinner for a group of people that are actually rescuing children, abused children at the border,
Okay.
trafficked children. So I'm really looking forward to that. That's the Dallas event.
Yeah.
And we're going to, honor those people that are involved in that kind of work, like on the ground work. They're literally rescuing children from situations on the border.
Mhm. Mhm.
And then we're headed to the regular Truther tour scheduled in Lubbock,
Well, that'll be
Texas.
exciting. So
Yeah.
you and I are going to touch base
Yeah.
Sunday night, I believe, when you arrive in Texas, and we're going to rejig the schedule as you have a
Yep.
little bit more firm timings for all of these shows, and we might
Yep.
be doing some stuff for the road. So, guys, stay tuned here to both Janine's Twitter, my Twitter, Janine's
Yep.
community, of course, on Tarot by Janine. We're going to post here if we're going to
Yep.
be doing something different here in terms of the schedule. So that sounds fun, Janine. That's exciting. First in 2 years, having the opportunity to travel and meet some other truthers and meet your
Yep.
audience members live in person.
Yep.
How exciting is that going to be? Are you excited for that?
I'm super excited. They've been warning me nonstop that Texans love to hug. So I'm all ready for hugs.
But aren't you a hugger yourself, Janine?
No, not usually.
No.
For years, I wasn't a hugger at all, but I'm going to be okay with hugs. You better believe it.
I always pegged you as a hugger.
No,
No.
no,
Okay.
not a hugger.
Okay.
I get
Interesting.
too much information sometimes hugging. It's like lots of information.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
yeah. When you're very empathic, yes, a lot comes through the hug. I
yeah,
agree with you on that. I'm a hugger, but I don't like to hug strangers. Like if I'm not at the same frequency as you, I have issues
yep.
with that. I totally agree with you on that. Okay, constant freezing. Who says that? Summer Soul. I don't know. It looks good here. It looks good
Yeah.
everywhere. Guys, give me a 5x5 if you guys are seeing this okay. I'm seeing the live chat here, so I'm going with you guys. Hugs back. Okay, thank you. Is this running okay for you guys? Not streaming here in Germany. There might be some technical issues again on the distributed Rumble servers, guys. Of course, this will be available on replay. Don't stress. And again, we are trying this out, guys, for you. We're trying to do these live, very public shows here, and we're choosing this platform here as the promise is that we can
Yeah.
do these uncensored. So, but with that comes some of the growing pains. And yes,
Yep.
I'm getting a lot of 5x5. There are a few people are seeing the freezing, but for the most part, 5x5. Okay. Well, let's get started, Janine. Last night we had a blockbuster show, of course, on the pay-per-view, and we didn't have time to finish the whole story. Where do you want to start today? Do you want to talk about this Emergencies Act thing in Canada? Do we want to get into Trump a little bit more? What are you feeling like? How do you want to start the show?
Have you heard anything about what was said today in the trial? Where I believe they started the trial today, didn't they?
Yes, they did, but I'm on my third show, so nope, I haven't read the
Well,
news yet. No.
I didn't have time either.
Okay.
So we probably shouldn't start there unless you want to do cards on how it's going to go, because I haven't really looked at any news on that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, let's ask if this is going to be a precursor to actually maybe Trudeau's dismantlement. A few
yep.
people, I think, commenters and pundits were saying that perhaps this was the beginning of the end for the Trudeau regime. I think were the words they were using. So let's pull the cards and see if perhaps this Emergencies Act inquiry is going to find that perhaps there were not just backdating of documents and lying to the courts and more shenanigans like that, but was there other pressure maybe from other countries as well? What are we going to find out with all of this?
So we've got the Sun, which is interesting, and the King of Cups. And this is around the whole thing. So this is very interesting, the Sun, because that can't be, unless the Trudeau regime, as you call it, I call it a facade. But anyway,
Mm.
Unless they're going in there thinking this is all fun and games and they're just this is going to be a piece of cake. I would be one way you could read that. And then the other card here, we've got the King of Cups. This indicates illusion and hidden things and hidden agendas. Well, that sounds more like the Trudeau gang, but I believe it might be because this was the card I pulled for the Trudeau gang. So I think the whole thing is a movie. So we're watching a movie. So the actual trial won't be, well, it's a big movie. So now we've got this Nine of Swords right in the middle. There's a lot of stress here that's in the atmosphere. Nothing around it is stressing. So I feel like this is people watching. So maybe the movie is to actually show people something, wake people up. Maybe we got a wake up call movie going on here. So the whole thing could be a bit of a setup.
You kind of alluded to that. You're picking the same cards again on this whole movie thing, and I think that was interesting. Okay. Well, we'll definitely come back to this next Monday. These trials
Yeah.
are going to last for a while here. We'll get some more data, and perhaps it'll lead us into some more very pertinent and poignant questions here. I saw this article on Zero Hedge earlier this morning. A bank strategist was saying that, yeah, it's no longer science fiction to say that we need a systemic reset. We are all heading for trouble at crazy, crazy warp speed. Okay, so yes, we're pushing the engines to the max, Scotty.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that again here too, because more people are still coming on board. They're reading, they're seeing, and for some of our audience members, they don't necessarily have the words to explain why the system feels different to them or why it's breaking around them, but they know that something is terribly wrong and they're trying to figure that out. And we're also trying to glean into how quickly this perhaps can change over. So let's take a first pulse to see how far down we are this path here of this systemic reset, and what do the audience members need to know here.
So when you say systemic reset, are you talking about the good guy reset or the bad guy reset? Because we know there's two resets.
This one here in particular is just say this one here, this bank thing, we're just saying, hey, everything's broken. We need to change everything. So it's not changing one little thing here is akin to moving the chairs on the Titanic. So that was the gist of this article saying, okay, everything needs to be overhauled. So that's this article per se. Go ahead.
Okay. So that article per se, this is really interesting. I feel like a lot has already changed. You just don't know about it.
Mhm.
Yeah. So temperance is there's been changes. They've been going on for a really long time to the good for the good of humanity. We've got this two of wands. So we're looking at so down it's like it's going to come out when it's ready to come out, what's already been changed. So I feel like that article that you were reading is fear porn. That's the
Mhm.
card I pulled for that on purpose to get people to understand when they do see what's been done in the background that they're okay with it because they have to look back and go, it could have been like this. And they need to have things that they show people how bad it could have been. That's what I think.
Absolutely on fire at one of her town halls. But let's get back to this. It's
Yeah.
Jover. We're hearing reports also that they might be inches, hours, days away here, perhaps from arresting the son. Biden himself yesterday was saying, "Hey, I trust my son." Again, it was the quote here. So there's something happening with the Biden family, and it's just interesting that this is the headline. It's Jover. What can
Mhm.
we gain out of all this? Never mind the CPI. Ticker tape there at the bottom. But what's happening here with Mr. Biden? Are we looking at bye bye Biden or one of them or both of them?
Oh, yeah. That's a big yes in the middle. And we could be hours or days away from a military takeover and or stepping out. We could be really, I'm thinking days anyway away.
Hmm. Wow.
And this card was in the past. So it's already happened somehow. They're just waiting for the right moment to play this out.
Play it out. Yeah. Cue, cue the spotlights. Okay, talking about playing this out. I mean, wow! More people need to see these types of town hall meetings and take their politicians to account here on their. Here they're saying hypocrisy and lies. So let's just hear some of the exchange at this town hall meeting for AOC.
None of this matters unless there's a nuclear war, which you voted to send arms and weapons to Ukraine. Tulsi Gabbard, she's left the Democratic Party because there are running war arms. Okay? You originally voted, you ran as an outsider. Yet you've been voting to start this war in Ukraine. You're voting to start a thermonuclear war with Russia and China.
Okay, there's a lot of stress in that room, of course, and they're putting her to task about being a
Yep.
warmonger and basically talking about chicken shit politics when in fact we could be on the verge of nuclear war. At least that's what the bad guys are trying to create here to not take a responsibility for all the fuck ups they have done in the financial markets and everything else around the world. So Janine, let's pull some more cards on this. Last night we looked at Tulsi Gabbard. I called it the Tulsi Gabbard effect, I think, in our poster last night, which could be very much apropos now. And see if I have to change slide decks for that. But at any rate, are we seeing now the beginnings of that Tulsi Gabbard effect? And are we going to see more of this heated exchanges with our politicians, where again people are saying, "Nah, this far no further." Look at that nice can in the back.
Yep. That's Mars. He's a good guy. Okay, interesting. So we've got the Two of Swords, and this is kind of interesting. The cards are more saying not to entirely trust that woman.
For sure.
They're saying, yeah, hold off on trusting her. Okay, she's not entirely as integral, and what she's saying is, I don't know. I think she's hidden, and or her agendas are not entirely what they're presenting themselves to be. So we did get that, didn't we, last night? I can't remember for sure.
On Tulsi Gabbard, yes, you're saying she's saving her skin, that she's not really necessarily working for the people, but she knows the writings on the wall, that they're dying, her buddies are dying here, the Khazarian mafia is dying, and she wants none of it. That's what you were saying yesterday.
Yeah.
But it's inspiring people is what I mean
It is.
here. Right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So now the outcome, I think the cards just wanted to be clear about that. The outcome looks really good. Like you'll see a lot of people waking up, moving over, sleeping politicians. Like this could be a real movement, like you called it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
All of these are like move. This is a careful card, but then things start to really move.
Right.
So
Wow. Okay. Let's look at this one here. I'm excited to do this publicly because, of course, these are very triggering words. But this European politician here is talking about this scandal of 450 million, no, actually 4.5 billion doses here that were purchased. And again, this is pursuant to the trials where we see that Pfizer CEO himself admitted that they had never tested it against transmittability, that it was all a lie, that we had to take this for other
unbelievable.
people's sake. And now, as Anna Breeze is saying, he can't shut these MEPs up now. They're all talking about this and they seem to be all covering their asses. And suddenly they're all interested in the fact that there was no science, there was no due process, and that all of this money was spent. So,
Yep.
is this also now an accelerating domino effect similar to perhaps the Tulsi Gabbard effect, where more and more politicians now are going to start to jump ship on the narrative and really call out the fraud that was behind this whole pandemic?
You bet.
Wow.
Those are yes, yes, and yes.
Yeah.
Especially
Wow.
when they have an ace right in the middle.
Wow.
So absolutely, like, and this is the outcome. So this is what we've been waiting for. So we need to celebrate things like this. This is exactly the turnaround we need to get it so the floodgates open.
Mm-hmm. Wow. I want to go back to Hunter Biden very quickly here. Is it perhaps possible that Hunter might leave the stage and not participate in any trials? And when I say leave the stage, I mean maybe leave the planet, maybe leave the realm, maybe go back to Galactic Central Sun. What's his fate in all of this here? Are we going to actually see him? Are we going to see somebody playing his part with a rubber mask? Has he already left the stage, or are we going to see somebody stand for all of this investigation here?
Well, technically, he's not anywhere near it, so he's already left. See that card?
Mm-hmm.
Already gone. This is all about kind of. This can be smoke and mirrors and hidden agendas.
Mm-hmm.
So he's already left, and this is a secretive card.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think, and these two are underneath. So I think they will have some kind of a hearing or trial for him, because this can be about legalities, facing legal justice, but it'll be maybe not really him. Somebody standing in his place, somebody wearing a mask, somebody.
Okay.
So now we got another trial. And I think there's been a lot of them, you guys, that is literally a movie.
Mm-hmm. Wow, fascinating. Okay, I got a super chat in the Rumble audience. Thank you so much, Dawn. Jason Janine, driving to work one night, I briefly saw an orange-red sphere with a being inside. Okay, what or who is inside? What's the message from this red-orange sphere and the ET inside, Janine? That's fascinating.
Wow. Some kind of energy was trying to get a hold of that person that asked the question. So there was a message going on from someone who maybe has contacted them before. So soul connection to that entity or energy. So that's an energy that maybe visits or has been visiting that person for quite a while. Maybe this is just one of the first times they literally saw them.
Hmm.
So they became visual, but they've been contacting or trying to contact that person for a really long time. They mean well or they mean good, and they mean to help the person with something they're already good at. So they want to help enhance maybe a gift that person has or something they can do to help the world. They want to bring some kind of help to what's going on in the situation in the world. And they think they can help this person get better at a gift that person has that will help the world.
Wow, fascinating times. Okay. Another question here. I think it's important to bring up here because you and I have talked about how people have bitched sometimes about the numbers we use or the words we use, and we're saying, no, no, no. We're reappropriating a lot of these words that the bad guys are using
Yep.
against us. This is part of the road to self mastery for a lot of us. Um, Somebody was asking, hey, I just bought a tarot deck. I was always told they were evil, but I'm trying it. Explain to the audience members here your take on using these technologies for yourself and for the betterment of humanity as opposed for the enslavement of humanity. Janine.
Well, you got to think about it. So, who was telling them? Organized religion, and in particular, in the burning times, it would have been, and or in the Inquisition times, it would have been, in particular, the early church, right, which is Catholicism and some of the earlier versions of Christianity. They were the biggest ones going against and brought the idea that somehow tarot, astrology, numerology were all evil tools. But
Mhm.
don't forget that those same people were telling you not to read. If you were a regular person, reading was illegal at the time for regular folks, unless you were an elite person, and you could be taught to read if you were really wealthy and one of the elites or royals. Otherwise, regular folks weren't allowed to do almost anything, actually.
Right.
And yeah, we had to fight hard just to be able to read, okay, and educate our kids and educate ourselves. Okay, so what do you think was going on there? That sounds like the cabal and the Illuminati they created what we know as organized religion. So they took these spiritual ideas, turned them into religions equals control, and used them against people. Hence the Vatican being literally a child trafficking and demonic place. Okay. So you got to remember, where did these ideas come from? Who said it's evil? They just don't want you to get the tools so you can understand and not have a go between. They always want a go between you and your sole purpose. So, like a priest or a minister, okay? Somebody going between. Why is that? Why can't you connect with your higher self or your soul all by
Mhm.
yourself?
Right.
Okay, so that's suspicious right there. So you
Yeah.
got to have a go between. And a lot of these go betweens have been known to be pedophiles. Look at that. Catholic Church, full of them.
Hmm.
Incredible amounts of all kinds of organized religions have evangelist Christians found out bunch of pedophiles, not all of them, but a
Yeah.
whole bunch of their leaders.
Yeah.
So it's like you got to wake up to who's telling you it was evil. Why did they? What was the purpose for that? Because they wanted to get you not to use a tool that works. It's really simple.
Very good. Well, thank you, Janine. That's great advice. And yeah, we're all okay. We're all trying to figure out this crazy, crazy world, and we're realizing that up is down and down is up, and like all these things they told us is really the opposite. And so
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that that is always true. And of course, you have to use discernment, and this is the
Yeah.
track that we're all on. So a big thank you, hey, to everyone with the super chats or the Rumble chats, whatever they're called in Rumble. A big thank you to all of you guys. I wanted to share with you also today that we are giving away to one of you lucky winners, and I haven't found a way yet to pull the data from the Rumble chats from last week. I will, don't worry. There's a winner for last week's pyramid, and of course here today also one of you Rumble chats donation will be receiving this pyramid from Carla. Let's see what she has to say about this particular creation.
Hi everyone, this is Carla from Ascension Organites, and today I have a new special edition to show you. Her name is Eva. So Eva is jam-packed with crystals and metals. She has carnelian stone, white milky quartz, peach moonstone, seashells, and selenite, together with copper metals, brass, crushed brass, and 24K gold leaf here at the bottom, with the tetrahedron symbol on the three sides, as she is a hexagonal pyramid. So I made Eva with the intention of being super extra powerful. She would help with bringing peace, clarity, also great for meditation or any type of mental or psychic work or any healing work, and also helps clear confusion and helping us see the bigger picture. So I'll give her a quick turnaround so you can see it. And there's Eva. I hope you guys like it, and I'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye bye. Hi, everyone.
I just have to say, wow. I
That's
love
impressive.
I love this pyramid. Of course, this is the hexagonal base. Let me see if I can bring that back up for you guys. Why is that not playing? I'm trying to re-spin it for you guys. But yeah, wow, absolutely beautiful. Thank you very much, Carla, for donating this to one of our
Yeah.
audience members. Guys, if you're looking at getting in one of these beautiful creations into your own possession, you can do so here. And you can see, oh yeah, the hexagonal base here on this picture. You can find them at ascensionorganites.com. And there, if you use the coupon code Beyond Mystic, you'll get an extra 10% off. Really love that one. Carla, put my name on one of those. I really like it. Okay, somebody was asking in the chat, hey, JC, where do we get the special silver discount code for the Insider Access Pass members? I think it's scrolled up a little bit too fast here. So guys, if you log in, if you're an Insider Access Pass member, just log in to the main library, and at the top of the library, you'll see the current specials that we have offered to you guys, and it'll be on the top right-hand side. If the general public also are interested in getting some physical silver, we'll get into asking about silver and gold here. I just had an interview with Bix Weir and Will Lair earlier, just before the show. We got into some crazy stuff here. So I'll ask Janine also to pull some cards on that. But guys, if you're looking at physical silver, beyondmystic.net/silver, and there we have the 2022 silver maple leaves on sale for $725 over spot, as well as the kilo bars at $350 over spot if you guys are looking to bulk up. And of course, if you're looking from the Canadian side of the audience, you can find some specials also here at mfbullion.ca. So you just have to click that link to get to that website. And yes, the Beyond Mystic silver bars are still available. A few of them still in stock. So if you guys are looking at getting that collection, oh, Janine, do you still have that picture I sent you from the lady in Israel with that collection? I said, oh my God, that was a beautiful picture. Do you have that with you? Do you know where that is?
No.
Okay. I'll ask you to pull some cards here on silver. And while you do that, I'll try to bring this picture from this lady in Israel who ordered all 3 bars here in her collection. I thought it was absolutely beautiful. So Janine, let's look at this also here. We're seeing all these rumblings. Credit Suisse are having problems. PayPal's having problems. All the banking issues. Even the BOE just announced yesterday that they're increasing their bond purchases here because of the bond route. What they admitted to last week was not enough. So clearly something is still broke and they're trying to fix it. And this is all leading us to realizing that all of these paper markets are just that. Paper. And at a certain point, when the mass learns the truth here, they're going to go back, as they've done for thousands of years, back to physical gold and silver. How close are we to that here? What do the audience need to know about gold and silver?
Interesting. So we get this card a lot around it. So it's the way they've been manipulated, it's dying a slow death. And again, we're looking at the end of that. This was in the past. So that leads me to believe there's already truths about it, and it could have already been changed in the past, which I often get. So I don't know who would be responsible for keeping that from the public, but I wonder if it's possible it's already revalued and we just don't know about it yet. Interesting. Whoa. Okay, so they're waiting for an event to happen first, and then out comes the news.
Wow.
Yeah. There's an event or some kind of a situation that rattles things up here with that tower, and then they're waiting for it to be a surprise on the other side of that. So reevaluation on the other side of some kind of a big event.
Wow. Do we want to pull cards on what that event looks like or what it's where it's coming from? Okay, let's pull some cards there. Celeste 13, thank you so much. She says, just sending love to you both. I appreciate that. Right back at you, Celeste. And yes, let me see. This picture here, yes, all the way from Israel. The Beyond Mystic bars are finally in Israel. Thank you so much to Andy and his assistant, Justin, who made it work. I am so pleased. Milat is saying. So thank you so much for that. And I love it when you guys share with me and Janine all of these beautiful pictures and all of your crystal and silver arrangements. It's absolutely cool. So thank you for all the love in the chat. So Janine, yeah, this event, what does it look like? What can the cards tell us?
It could be a financial event. Interesting. But it doesn't look like it's detrimental somehow. It's like something's being given here to the masses. So there's a few things that come to mind. People understanding that the RV might have reset. So other people's money values reset all to an equal value all over the world. That's a potential one of the things. Some people think that's all not true, but I don't know. This looks pretty interesting. And this was in the middle. So it's something about finances. It could be shocking to a lot of people, but by the look of these cards, not in a bad way. Looks like a good. So there's a shocking event that could revalue money and or maybe even reveal that we have another money system. I mean, that's another option we could be talking about there.
Right. Let me ask you also, is it possible that this event, let me see if I can bring up this other website here. Is it possible that this event you're talking about is what catapults maybe you and I to changing the way we do things? I mean, we've been at this for a long time where we're doing our very best to, in some instance, red pill people. In some other instances, we're being war correspondents, trying to explain to people the war that we're actually in, this spiritual war. Yep. But at a certain point, when all of this is front line and center for everybody, and there's a question on the screen in terms of how people are actually waking up here. I'll get to that in a moment. Is it possible that this event you're pulling right now is also going to change the way and the direction of these shows moving forward, where we leave the trying to educate people as to what's going to happen, but maybe transform into maybe empowering people here to become self-actualized in this brand new age of Aquarius?
Those are the cards around our next sort of incarnation work-wise. So working as with teams, maybe. And these are all about very literal things. So that's interesting. Maybe working with abundance or working with the idea of abundance or helping people get used to the idea of thinking about what abundance is or what money is, what it can be used for, maybe more education, more, because this is teamwork, working together in groups, but it's all around finance and or abundance or the idea of abundance or wealth or comfort.
Well, okay, so on our beyondmystic.academy website, the About page, of course, talks about the team. Go back to that card you were holding, which is 3. Yes, the 3 symbolization symbol is there as well. So yes, some validation there for sure. And of course here, yes, the self-actualization through education, empowerment is key. Guys, available right now is the Tarot Level 2. You guys have been asking for this. We had launched very successfully Level 1 2 months ago. Janine was hard at work here. Producing Level 2, and we're now hard at work already producing number 3. Stop emailing me. We'll get to number 3 here very cool. I know everybody's so excited. I am too. But on top of that too, guys, check out this tarot numerology course with Janine, Julie, and myself. This is interesting here in the context of what Janine just said. It'll enable you to find your soul essence and also mission. This will give you the direction here to get into creating that abundance for yourself. And of course, coming soon in there also is my workshop on how to create abundance. So yes, Janine, even though I didn't cue you on this, you were right on the money, so to speak. So I absolutely love it. So a big thank you to all of you. And yes, let me go back to that question in the live chat with respect to people waking up and leading into perhaps this new phase of our lives here. Because once you wake up, okay, what do you do from there? That's the big question for a lot of members. But Chicken Gate is asking, and thank you for the Rumble rant there. I would like to know if the normies are actually waking up. Please check the cards. Do you want to do a percentage check? Like, how do you want to pull that from the cards, Janine?
Yeah, let's just look around. What are we looking at? Normies ratio to people that are awakened.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do that. Holy smokes. Thank you so much, everyone, for all these rants and donations. You guys are amazing. I'll try to put them on screen as best as I can. Go ahead, Jillian.
That one was for the normies. Now, first thing I want you to notice, well, it is a 4. and of swords. So a lot of them are more awake than they even realize, because there's something they've got it in their unconscious. They just need to bring it up. So a lot of people are just in denial or literally repressing what they know. And it's a minor arcana. Here's the people awakened. We got the moon. So some of them are scared to say they're awakened. Some of them are fearful to say they're awakened. There's a lot of people in spiritual movements that would consider themselves awakened. So that's really interesting. And what will awake them maybe is how many people are passing over, is another way I could read that.
Right.
That could be what wakes up and really triggers this one sword that they're laying on here. Right. Like, did you see those videos I was sharing of
information, whatever they think misinformation is? They quickly backtrack here because the community said, no, F you, this far no further, we're not having it. And their stock prices took a big hit. And of course, still, they're bleeding today. Yep. A lot of members leaving that platform. So very interesting. And that means that a lot of people not only are awake, but to the point where they're at, you know what? No, F you, we're done with this. So that's very interesting to see people move en masse. Thank you so much for the $25. Thank you, JC and Janine, sending love. I appreciate that. Where was I here? This one as well. Not a rant, just no, you both are respected. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Red Cedar, that's lovely. Blanca, can you please look into the Canadian value falling to the USD? Love you all. Okay. That's interesting also because in these last stages of this Ponzi scheme, we're going to see, as far as most analysts agree, a flight from other currencies into the US dollar. So we're going to be perceiving a strength in the US dollar as the US dollar explodes. Now, Jim Willie has been talking about this for a while, that we would see this crack up boom in the US dollar until it actually booms and kaputs, right? So for the people who are holding other currencies that are failing to the US dollars, what can we tell them right now? If they're asking the question, it's because they're trying to get out of harm's way. And again, I'm not giving financial advice, but how is this all going to play out? And what perhaps are the tools to them, whether that's gold, silver, and crypto, in order to soften the blow of perhaps this currency war that we're currently engaged in? Jenny?
I'd say get yourself something that's tangible. Something solid that feels like metals, maybe. Yeah. So you'll be more victorious in, and or pick up things like, say, usually you purchase new tires at a certain time of the year. Make sure you've got, so take your US dollars if you have them, and or Canadian dollars, or whatever your currency is, and go purchase things that normally you would in the next few months. And make sure you have things like, if you're redoing your kitchen and you need new appliances, maybe get those before things go wacky, or before you get things like that. I'm not saying go spend. I'm not saying that exactly. I'm just saying put it into things of value. If you can afford property, you might want to look into hang on to your properties that you have, because right now wouldn't be a good time to sell them because things are crashing. But you want to hang on to and or accumulate things that are of value and tangible. So that includes physical silver, physical gold, physical things that are valuable to humans. That's what it's saying. Wow. And then this is in the past, so this is interesting. Already, things are already dramatic, but they're not telling you in the markets. So that could we have already crashed in the market and we literally just haven't been told, or they're covering it up somehow? Because that's what I get.
Yes, it could be. Jim Willie was on the show the last time, and he said he already thought there was a huge bank, one of those too big to fail, that had already gone bankrupt, yet there was a media blackout on it. Speaking of Jim Willie, guys, he's going to be on the show, this new format here on Rumble. So it's going to be the Jean-Claude and Jim Willie Rumble show. That's going to be Monday, October 17 at 3 p.m. right here on the Rumble channel. So please remember to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a beat. And also, coming up very soon, actually on October 31st for Halloween, is this show here. Who, might I ask, Janine, would be these three witches in costume on Halloween night on my channel? We'll just let the audience kind of guess who those three witches could
Yeah.
be. Now, I have 8 o'clock here, and I was going to put this on YouTube, but it might be problematic on YouTube, so I think I'll put it here on Rumble. So another good reason for you guys here to subscribe to our new Rumble channel here. The link is in the live chat now. And stay tuned for that October 31st 3 Witching Hour. Very, very special and unique episode. I can't wait to do it.
Yeah.
That's all we'll say, Janine. But I think we'll do maybe a 4 p.m. show.
Yeah.
And try to capture some of the people in Europe as well, so that night on the 31st, which is a Monday, Janine and I can still do our Janine Uncensored Tarot show at the 8 o'clock Eastern show. So just stay tuned, watch the schedule here, and let us know right now in the live chat and also in the comments below if you're watching this on replay, who you think these 3 witches are going to be in this 3 Witches Hour show. All right. That's enough of the teasing. Let me go back to the live chat here. There's quite a few more questions. I was told, okay, let me see if I can bring this up. Oh, shoot, it just rolled off the screen. Let me see if I can bring this back up. Okay, hold on. Can you guys see that? Does that work? Yes, okay, there you go. I was told in a reading my gifts were turned off completely by age 5. Yeah, that's a lot of people, by the way. There's something weird about that. I will be reactivated by spring next year. Can you tell me what I could be doing now to help this transition? Oh, great question here. So this person is about to go live, basically. And Janine, we're just talking about that here. We're all going to be called to different tasks here as we move into this new reality. And this is the case here for Lady Roxy, perhaps here for the next spring. What can the cards tell Lady Roxy here on how to get through that transition of being deactivated in terms of moving forward and being activated? Great question.
She should assume that she already is activated and don't let herself be limited. If she's even open to it, she could probably already call in some of her activation. I feel like it could come soon. Doesn't need to just because somebody said at a certain time doesn't mean she has to wait till that certain time. Generally speaking, if she's open to the gifts showing themselves, they're available to her. That's what I get. Yeah, not to wait and just like we got to stop taking people's words for everything and feel more intuitively. That could have just been a general energy that says you were shut off and now it's time to awaken.
Wow.
Somebody might have put a time frame to it, but you know what I mean? Time frames, like the world works different and timing is different in the universe. So if you already know about the potential, you start assuming the position. And even if nothing comes for a few months, just stay with it. And once you feel ready, just tell the universe you're ready. Like know about it. So bring it on.
Yeah, very cool. That's great advice. And the moment somebody tells you something, it changes the timeline. And you knowing something also can change your own timelines. I completely agree with you, Janine. So great question for the questioner. You're in control, actually, and you can rewrite that script yourself. So that's really, really cool. Okay, let me go through some of these rants here. A big thank you to all of you. And actually, I just got a message from Julie. She's giving us a candle for one of these lucky people in the chat tonight too. So I'll show you the candle here in a second. Much love and light. Thank you so much. What was the next one? Okay, that's the one I just did. Much love and light. Also 20. Thank you so much. Thanks for the great show. I always look forward to you both. Shannon T, thank you so much. Congrats on the Rumble channel. Thank you. Joan of Arts. I love that. Okay. Thank you, JC Jennings. Sending love. Did I do these already? I think so. Okay. Yes, candle. I have a candle somewhere. Which one is it? Hold on. Candles. Julie, which candle was it? I don't know if she's still in the chat. Okay, I'll come back to the candle thing in a second. Janine, okay, we're 46 minutes in. I have a hard exit. I have another engagement at 5. Was there anything else today before we started the show or leaking from last night's episode that we didn't get a chance to go through that you wanted to bring to the audience member, or any new updates you want to share with the audience about Tarot by Janine? And while you do that, I'm going to scan here for more questions.
Okay. Well, I did do a fairly controversial look at something on the channel and got lots of feedback, good, bad, and ugly about it. And well, we did the Roseanne bar situation, which turns out they had just taken words out of context in what she was saying. But also the cards agreed that she certainly wasn't correct anyway if she was actually saying Trump was a female originally, like born a female. And we know that elite families do that. So it was worth looking at, right? And I
Yeah.
always get the Empress for them. But the other part of that reading was we were looking into, so the newest rumor out there, and lots of noise about this, is that deep cover, Tom Hanks was actually a white hat in deep cover, and even agreed to take a fall with his reputation to show what these guys do and what kind of how adrenochrome gets moved around. And apparently, or what they were saying is that him and Spielberg and even Oprah were actually in deep cover for many years, getting info on the bad guys. Now, I looked at each one of those, and that's interesting because the cards have been saying that Hanks was a bad guy.
Yeah.
So I looked at Hanks, and it actually was all aces, weirdly, and it looked like that was true. So my only thing I could say about that is likely we weren't ready to know about it, or because he was in deep cover, he needed to stay in deep cover. So now it's time to know that. So that's one way you could look at that. But all of a sudden they're saying, yeah, he's a good guy. Spielberg was a good guy too. And a lot of people disagreed.
Right.
Don't forget that these, like Q said, and repeatedly, that everybody you think is good could be bad. Everybody you think is bad could be good. Like the world is wonky and so many surprises, and that there would be twists and surprises. So it doesn't totally surprise me that some of that might be true. Now, Oprah, mind you, did not look like, she looked like there could have been, she was trying to get over to the good side, but her programming, because I believe she was programmed from birth and was in a satanic ritual abuse family. I think she was created, Oprah, and then placed in a family. And I don't believe her background, just like Meghan Markle's background and quite a few other people I've discovered, their backgrounds are all fake. Obama's background's all fake. So they weren't really in any kind of regular family anyway. So Oprah's one of those, I believe. And she didn't look like she'd recovered entirely from, so she wouldn't be a good, she might have come over to the good guy's side occasionally, but she looks like she's still falling into bad patterns and she might not even be with us anymore.
It's fascinating how all of this is going to unfold. And even for us who've been watching this for a long time, we're going to be like, what? this world is really strange. That's for sure. Fritz Lee, I appreciate that. Thank you. Says JC Janine, I never would have made it this long without you. I'm still in one of those isolated areas where no one is awake, so I've been trying to manifest a move. Well, let's pull some cards. She's not asking the questions, but let's see if Fritz has a move sometime here in the near future, and if she can maybe manifest a community of like-minded people. Thank you, Fritz. I really appreciate that comment. We've been working really hard to try to hold these frequencies highs for everyone here on the channel. Thank you. Appreciate that. And you're ready with the cards. Go ahead, Jenny.
Looks like there's a reason she's had to stay put. She's been the strength in the area, so the universe has kind of kept her there. Like, I feel like there's been a reason, and this card says you'll become enlightened through the holdups and things that feel like you're waiting, and you're like, this card is actually, this person's in a yoga position and they become enlightened through something that's difficult. So the thing that sounds difficult is she's in an area that feels like they're not awake, but maybe her vibration is actually needed there for now. Okay, so there's a reason, and we've got the Magician in the middle. So I feel like they've heard her, or who that person is. I'm not sure it's a her, but they've heard the person's wish, desire. You've been heard, and patience, I'm thinking 7 months from now would be a really good, I feel like it'll come really naturally. Something will occur or a series of events that'll make it really obvious it's time to move then. So just not the right season, and somehow your energy is really needed in the area to rise the vibration. Even just your vibration is, you're an example energetically or something.
Wow, that's fascinating. Okay. Wow. Okay, that's really cool. Man, this chat and Rumble really rocks. It's going by so fast. I apologize if I didn't get to all the super chats or the Rumble chats donations. They do disappear after some time, and I'm trying to manage so many things. So a big thank you to all of you for sure. And I apologize if I don't get to name out all of you there and ask all of your questions. But a big thank you to you guys there. So I do have a candle from Julie. Let me see if I can bring it up. It's the intuition candle. Yes, intuition very much needed these days. So this is going to be one of the gifts for one of you lucky donators to the show here tonight. Thank you so much. And guys, if you're looking at getting some of these amazing crystal infused candles here by Elena at Maison Jupiter, you can do so at maisonjupiter.com. And speaking on that theme of educating yourself and getting empowered into this brand new world of ours, Janine, you and I have done many, many shows now already with Julie. Speak to the audience members, perhaps who are new to all of this, how astrology is so important and how absolutely incredible Julie, her knowledge, her education, and her attention to detail really is in all of these shows, and how maybe knowing your own personal birth chart alignments can really help you out in this weird transition of ours. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I studied astrology for 25 years, and she's far and beyond with the knowledge. So I'm scratching the surface with that much. So she must have brought some lifetimes in her lifetime to be as aware of all the movements and what does that mean, right? So when we align it together, the two of us, it just brings a whole nother dimension to the information. And when she's on shows with you and Bixweers and these other fellows that you go on shows with and these other people, I feel like she's bringing this whole dimension, and it's literally supporting. It's like the universal movements, just like they support our lives and they can somehow be a roadmap to our lives. It's like a roadmap to what on earth is going on spiritually right now. So it gives us a whole nother dimension and way to look at it. So I just like this gateway of knowledge that adds to everything we're looking at. It's incredible.
Yeah, guys, really cool. Check out last night's or the nights before's episode of the Divine Feminine Oracle Show with Julie and Sophie. And coming up next, first of all, if you haven't seen the first one, please do go check out the Nostradamus and the Vortex of Time with Jay Widener and Julie. We're decoding Nostradamus. We're decoding some of the stuff in the Great Cross of Henday and how all that ties into this particular timeline we're on now. So Jay and Julie will be back on October 20th. Absolutely going to be an amazing show. And in the meantime, yes, if you guys are looking at maybe getting a handle on your own astrology, please consider purchasing one of these amazing birth charts. She produces these herself for you. This is a digital product. You can find those at maisonjupiter.com. And if you use the coupon code there, Beyond Mystic, you'll get an extra 10% off. So let me put that link back in the live chat for you guys. Okay, Deneen, we're 55 minutes in. Somebody asked me earlier at the beginning of the show, I don't have it on the screen anymore, but they were saying, JC, Janine, ask what about these explosions on top of the FBI building in DC last night? So I saw this video after you and I finished our live, and I said, oh yeah, we have to check that tomorrow. What the hell's going on in the FBI building? I'll see if I can bring up that video again if I still have it on last night's slide deck while you pull some cards there.
Wow. Okay. So that almost looks like there's a war going on. That feels like there's some kind of rounding up or some kind of I feel like people, I wonder if there were people hidden there or they were routing out people. Right. And then this card here came in so they heard about, so there could have been information sent to them that there's people there in hiding. And maybe they were bad people too. So we've got the Wheel of Fortune. So I feel like we got like we're literally seeing the white hats or the alliance in action, taking out some people or baddies. So something about the building, maybe it's beneath, maybe it's on the roof, like people were saying. I don't know why that
Mhm.
building, but I feel like there's kind of a war going on.
Well, I want you to ask the cards. Is that war going on now for live people to hear bombs in DC related to the flag at the Trump rally that, of course, had the stars covered and suggested, as per some of our military viewers, that perhaps it was now signaling open warfare? Is that connected, these moves, Janine?
That's a big yes.
Most cards, yes, and Mr. Trump. Okay.
Yep. And yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
So I think we're getting mighty close to some real where we're in on the action. I mean, not literally, obviously we don't want to be in explosive war-like situations, but we are literally in a war, you guys, with some demonic deep state and goons for the deep state, and all of those things are real, and it's really important that that all starts to become known to everybody, because I
Mhm.
think it's time to know. It's time for us to know so we can really wrap this up.
Right. Wow. Exciting. L. Wells. Oh my God. I so missed the two of you together. Well, thank you so much. And thank you for leaving a comment. Guys, if you like this show, encourage us. Leave a comment below. Let us know what topics you want us to follow. It's important to us. We do check out your comments, and it does help us generate the content for you guys here as we move forward on Rumble. And also, like I'm seeing now in the window here, we have 6,000 or so watching live. We used to have more than that, of course, on the YouTube channel, and we're still trying to find that community who lost us there after Janine was deleted from her YouTube channels, and where I got strikes also for even mentioning Janine on my channel. So that was the big issue. A lot of people are still don't know what happened, and they're looking for the Janine and Jean-Claude Rumble show. So send this video to all of your friends. Put it on your social media, please. Of course, send the links to them so that we can rebuild that community and that amazing, strong, energetic field we were all creating together on YouTube, but even better here on Rumble, as we can say the words as we actually mean. And words have a frequency, and this is very important.
It
So
is.
please help us in rebuilding that community here on Rumble. Two things you can do absolutely free. One, subscribe to the channel, and two, forward this stuff to all of your friends and family and to all your social media. And three, actually, yes, please also let us know how we can improve the show. Let us know what comments, what topics, you want us to cover on the next shows. And of course, you can send us all the energetic I love yous and hugs in the live chat there. That helps a lot. It actually makes all the difference in the world. That's it for today, guys. Please join me and in wishing Janine some safe travels as she's moving